Hey everyone, Sharpie here. As we get into opening weekend of LCS, I wanted to do a quick rundown of every single team and do, I guess, a set of expectations that I have for week one for each of these teams. And I've broken them down into three simple questions. I could go on these long tangents about them, but I'm going to keep it really simple so we can get through this video pretty quickly and it's not a 40-minute documentary. All right, 100 Thieves is going to be the first team we're going to look at. And the first question I've got is, can River keep in form with a new team, particularly rookies around him? He's never been in that situation before. I want to see if he can keep it up. Second question, Sniper and Meech. We're very excited about these rookies, particularly Sniper. We've been talking about him for a long time. Can they show up on stage, and will they show signs of life at minimum that they can be who we're hoping they can be? Will they show that talent that we've been hearing about for a long time? And question number 3, Quid looked questionable last year. Quid looked questionable. Will he step it up? He's been looking a lot better in Champs Queue over the offseason. Will that transition to the stage? I hope it does. Team number 2 is going to be Cloud9. Now, Cloud9, they built a super team, and despite having a super team, there's still 3 questions I think we need to have answered in week 1. First question is, will they be as lane dominant as they should be on paper? This team is built to just be a dominating force on the Rift. Will that actually work out? Super teams have been questionable in LCS over the past few years. Is this going to be one of those flukes, or is this going to be one where it really shines? Speaking of flukes, question number 2. Vulcan on FlyQuest. He came into that team last year, and the team arguably got worse. Was that a fluke, or is Vulcan actually starting to fall off as a player? For the sake of Cloud9, I hope it doesn't, but I think particularly for Vulcan's career, he needs to answer that this split. And the third question I've got then is actually going to pair along with Vulcan, is how is that jungle support synergy going to work out? Now, especially because this season it's going to be a lot more played around bot lane, I'm expecting, how are they going to work together to keep vision, to keep all the things working how they want it to, so they can be a powerful force working together? Will Vulcan and Blabber be a good pairing, or will they have some issues? I hope we get that answered, or at least some early signs of answers here in week 1. All right, team number 3 is Dignitas. Now, Dignitas, they made a few moves. They picked up new jungler, new mid laner, and I believe a new support as well. And questions we've got right off the bat is, the first one is the obvious one. Let's talk about Rich. Will Rich pick up where he left off, or will he be even better? I expect him to be even better as he gets more and more comfortable being on the LCS stage. But left to be seen. I want to see Rich continue to pick up where he left off and be a powerful top laner who picks some of these niche picks like Illaoi, like the Quinn, and shines with them. Question number 2. Will Tomo and Isles be as dominant on stage as they've been in Champs Queue? Now, if you've been watching Champs Queue, Tomo and Isles have been probably one of the best bot lane duos we've had on the Rift for those Champs Queue matches. They've been absolutely dominating everyone. I want to see them make that transition from Champs Queue to stage, and I hope it works out for them. Third question is the XU and Dove question. These are 2 new players. XU is essentially a rookie, and Dove has a lot of unknowns about him. He's played in other regions. He's played in China. He's played in Korea. Is that going to work out for him? This rookie and a Korean Chinese player who's been bouncing around a little bit and is now coming to NA. How is that going to work out? Are they going to have some early struggles? Is it going to look good? I don't know how good Dove and XU are going to play. I want to see some early signs of life to see what can we expect from these 2 players. Team number 4 is FlyQuest. FlyQuest, jumping right into it, they brought in Bwipo. Bwipo, or I guess I should say correctly, Bwipo. Bwipo is their top laner. Now, the question I have is, I know he can be good. I know he's reached finals. I know he's very vocal. Will Bwipo need an adjustment period? He's been off stage for a year. He's been out of the competitive playing for a year. Is that going to have some signs of rust, or is he going to hop in like he never left? Question number 2, they brought in Jensen. Now, Jensen has been looking a little questionable over the past year at least. I'd say 2 years. Will he step it up with Inspired, or is the slump going to continue? For the sake of FlyQuest, I hope he steps it up. Jensen is a player who has some really high highs. He just hasn't shown them in a while. I hope he steps it up, and I hope Inspired helps him to get there. Question number 3, Masu. He's the most hyped AD carry we've had in a while. We've been looking forward to him. People have been talking about him like crazy. And I guess it boils down to the same question as Meech and Sniper from 100 Thieves. Can he also show signs of life that he can be who we hope he is? Can Masu prove that taking a gamble and bringing in a rookie AD carry with these I guess you could say star-studded lineup of Jensen, Inspired, and Whippo, is that going to pay off for them? All right, halfway done. Team number 5 is Immortals, and I'm excited about this team. I'll tell you that much. I'm super stoked for this team. I think a lot of people are underrating how good they can be. But question number 1 I've got is, are Castle and Mask going to look as good as they can be? They've been rumored to be very good. Castle has been very good on Champs Queue. Mask was absolutely dominant in Germany, and he was very good in LCK challengers as well. He won like an MVP over there. He made it to 4 finals in a row in Germany and won 2 of them. And they've both been really good players. And I want to see, is that going to pay off early, or are they going to need some time to adjust to this new region, this new setup? Left to be seen. I hope it works out for them. Question number 2 is the Armeo question. Armeo has been bouncing around teams for quite a while, but if you take a look at his career, he's never really been given a fair shot as a true starting jungler. He's always been kind of in a weird fill-in spot or sharing time, etc. This is his first real chance on a real roster. How bright can he shine? I want to see him come out and show this is what all these other teams have been missing out on. This is who the real Armeo is. And the third question is tactical, especially next to Ole. Tactical has had some high highs. He's had some low lows. I want to see, will the high highs tactical with Ole next to him, will that tactical come back? Will this tactical, who can be the best AD carry in the league, or at least contest with Berserker, will he show up, or will he continue to have some of those questionable good calls, bad calls, the Jekyll and Hyde tactical that we've seen over the past year or two? I hope we see tactical come in and dominate with Ole next to him, but we have to wait and see. All right, team number 6 is our world's best team from the West. I guess I don't even have to say NA, it's from the West, Energy. So question number 1 right off the bat, was the Worlds run a fluke? Or is this team just that good? They weren't that great in spring. They were all right. And in summer, they were a 9-9 team. And then playoffs hit and they did not look back. They shone, they were dominant all through like the summer playoffs, went to Worlds. They were stomping everyone, 2-0 G2, beautiful day as an NA fan. And we'll have to see, was that just a fluke? Was that just the meta was right, the feeling was right, or are they just a good team now? Question number 2, will the swap out of Ignar and adding in Huhi, is that going to be an upgrade, side grade, or downgrade? We'll leave it at that. Simple as it goes. Upgrade, side grade, or downgrade. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, by the way. Question number 3, with a significantly smaller coaching staff this year, will their gameplay show it? Now, we've memed about Energy. They had this massive coaching staff, and they really did downsize their coaching staff to make it a lot more streamlined. They don't have like multiple coaches for every single role anymore. Is that going to show? Are they going to look worse because they don't have so much support around the team? Time will tell. All right. Team number 7 is going to be Shopify Rebellion. Okay, question number 1 I'm a fan of Insanity. I like this kid. I think he's got a lot of talent. Will he continue his rise to stardom? I think he could make a legitimate argument if he continues to grow the way he does, that he can be the best mid laner in the league. I think he could do it. Will he continue that trajectory, though? We'll have to see. Question number 2 is Fake God and Zazal are returning to the LCS stage after playing there before and being demoted down to Challengers League. Will they shine? Will they, I guess you could say, go on the Dokla arc? Because Dokla got demoted, came back, and now he's a Worlds quarterfinalist. Will Fake God and Zazal do the same thing here? I want to see if they could start taking steps in that direction. I want to see that bringing them back was the right decision. Question number 3 is Boogie. Now, we could talk about the AD carry, but they're kind of bouncing between Wild Turtle and B-Voy. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. Boogie he had signs of life back in TSM last year. You saw potential with him. Will he grow? I want to see if year 2 here in NA he's going to be better. That's question number 3. And finally, the last team we've got here is, of course, Team Liquid. And question number 1, right off the bat, is the jungler Umti. Now, which Umti will we get? We've heard people talking to him, call him General Umti, that he's this jungler who just commands the game and he's going to lead you to victories. Will we get the Umti that does that? Or will we get the Umti that places between 8th and 10th place for like 4 years in a row like he did in Korea? Which Umti will we get? Time will tell. Question number 2, Jan and Core JJ. They've been good in lane, but they've just struggled outside of it lately, especially Jan. Can they step it up? Can they shore up those mid-late game mistakes, and can they continue to remain consistent and good in the bot lane? Even Core JJ, I think, was sometimes questionable in the bot lane. Jan was good as the AD carry, but Core JJ in lane, so I'm talking about in lane here, was questionable sometimes. And I want to see, can they shore that up? Can they solidify in year 2 and be a much stronger support AD carry duo? And the third question for the last team, Team Liquid here, is about APA. He came into the league on fire. He was blowing people up. He looked great with his Ziggs, with his Nico, but then it kind of died out. He had, again, flashes of brilliance at Worlds and stuff like that, but it wasn't how it started off. And I want to see, will APA come back guns blazing and, bring up even more of a diverse champion pool and start showing some real talent across a bunch of extra champions and showing that, hey, I can bring that same form I had in those first couple weeks when I came into the league. I can bring that version of myself consistently. That's what I want to see answered here early on in week 1. All right, that's my list of set of questions I've got for every single team as we move here into the first week of LCS this weekend. I'm going to close it off with a quick little bonus segment here. There's some champions I think we could see this opening weekend. Now, there's some of the champions that we're not typically used to seeing. They're not going to be your flavors of the month, I guess you could say. But I'm going to nevertheless put up a little graphic here of some champions I think we could very much see, even if they're not going to be very expected. Some, I guess you could say, weird picks to watch out for. All right, that's it for me. We'll see you this weekend. Have a good one.